This is Robert Talton, and I approve this message.
Of what we want in a godly, sound candidate who also is very effective in legislating. And that legislative experience here in Texas is critical in understanding how to get things done in Washington, D.C. Again, I've watched a lot of good people who I've known and helped go back there with good intentions who simply were run over and steamrolled by the machine back there of Washington, D.C. This guy's not going to get steamrolled. You know, he's a man who stood against things that he didn't believe in, stood for things he did against pressures of his own party leadership. And that's something that's rare, and it's something we desperately need in Washington, D.C. and everywhere else, as we well know. So I just want to know it's a privilege to have had a chance to know and work with Robert Talton over these last 8 years that we've been here, personally, as well as to watch him and stand and observe somebody who has stood the test of the fire and will get the job done. And I mean, that's with confidence and courage, and that when he goes back there and represents this district in Washington, D.C., that you don't have to lobby Robert. You don't have to say, well, we just push him hard enough, we maybe get him to do the right thing. Is that you can encourage him, you stand with him, but he's always going to do the right thing. And that's what's great to know. So it's a privilege to introduce State Representative and soon-to-be Congressman Robert Talton.
I've been the state representative in this area for the last 15 years. And prior to that, I have a pretty broad spectrum of experience. And part of it is I grew up over on the west side of Pasadena, where Sue and I have lived in the area. Sue's a native Houstonian, and I've only been in the area for about 58 years. So I came when I was about 3 years old. But anyway, I grew up, and my first real job, I call it, was as a policeman in Pasadena. Then from there, I went back to school at University of Houston, got a degree in business. And then a year and a half later, I went to law school at South Texas, and then went down to Port Arthur, where I worked as a police legal advisor for about 9 years. That you send up there into Washington or for Austin. And I think it's important. You will not find a scandal in my background. And I've served up there for 15 years without a scandal. So you got to look at those things.
Just don't sit on your vote. That's all right. Don't sit on your vote.